hunting, bathing, having fun, laughing. This is living. This is the complete phrase to describe Greek living. Today we will talk about ancient Greek architecture, sculpture, and visual arts. Why are we talking about these? Because the artworks, sculpture, and architecture give many hints about their ancient culture and lifestyle. They have obvious records on them. The Greeks learned most of the things from Egypt, and architecture is one of them. Because Egyptians grew geometry, so they made a giant contribution to architecture in general. Egyptians were able to use black soil after the flow of the river Nile. However, Greeks could not use their soil because it was washed with seawater. At first, Minoans were living Crete, as you can see on the map. It was Girit in Turkish. The name of the state takes its name from the first king. It was an island, and irrigation was possible there. The territory was expanding all the time. They controlled around the Mediterranean Sea. The island had large houses and luxurious palaces. For example, Knossos, Zakros, Malia, Gortys, and Phaistos were some of the palace names. After a while, there were Mycenaeans lived around the territory. This was the main land of the Greeks. The land consists of mountains and hills. The next period was the Dark Ages. In architecture, it's called the geometric period because the buildings were more geometrical shaped. More classical and Hellenistic periods followed by the history of that period. The death of Alexander the Great and the annexation by Rome are the most remarkable events. The key buildings were Minoan Palace of Knossos in Crete and Mycenaean Palace of Tyrians, Mycenae. The Palace of Knossos. The plan of the building is more organic, not rigid. There is no symmetry and no progressional palace. It looks like a labyrinth, but you can always find your way through the courtyard. It's in the Minoan Empire, and it's a community area as well. The colors are bright, it has a wide floor and a multi-story plus, which means it has floors. Mycenaean urbanism. It has states, and these states are independent. They existed in hilly tops to be protected from natural disasters and attacks, and to be able to see far. To protect themselves, they created fortification walls. The city is organized around the temple. They made a lion gate for fortification. There are depictions on them as well. Their graveyards were circular. The administrative system is at the top of the city. The palace landed there. The Greeks have storages with big vases. The palaces had megarons at the center, a big hall in the palace with a lot of decorative elements. It's rectangular. The city is surrounded by cyclopean walls, which are super thick walls. The name is inspired by the Homer Odysseus blinding the Cyclops giants in the legend of Iliada. The Megaron ritual place. They did rituals, ceremonies at the courtyard of the Knossos and administration in Megaron. It has an opening on the roof. The Archaic period. The Acropolis emerges in this period. The high cities were constructed. Acro means high, polis means city. The walls are not that thick because the city is on top, so it fortifies itself. There is an agora part of the city. They gather there and they do everything there basically. Trades, sports, theater, music, festivities, Bouleuterion, which means Senate House, and more. The columns. The columns consist of the significant decorative elements of Greek architecture. There is a frontal porch at the entrance door. It has a pediment that includes mythological victory skins. The Doric column is the oldest one. The shaft path is the shortest, comparing the Ionic and Corinthian ordered columns. The abacus part of the strength and the entablature has glints, and metoph part represents the man. The Ionic order has a longer shaft with goat bulls at the necking part of the volute. The Corinthian ordered shaft is the longest, and the necking part has acanthus leaf decorations. The Doric and the Corinthian columns have both Taurus and Scotia plinths. Parthenon. Ictinus and Callicrates, the architects of the Parthenon. Under the supervision of Phidias, it has a curved silhouette. Temple of Zeus. The oracle was coming from Pythia, who is a middle-aged woman. According to texts, she was having haunted behavior when she talked to Zeus. The giant statue of Zeus is placed at the center. Art and sculpture in ancient Greeks. Parthenon frieze. The ancient Greeks tended to express their culture and religion through art. One of the best examples of this is the Parthenon frieze. In this frieze, held together with the sculptor Phidias and a new other artist, he represented Spontaneity, the events celebrating the goddess Athena, who gave her name to the city of Athens. Sculpture of Athena, Parthenon. Since the Parthenon was built in the name of Athena, it also contained a 12-meter giant statue of Vir Athena. This statue, made by sculptor Phidias using ivory and gold, was made to symbolize Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war strength, and her power and protection. The calmness and wisdom in the statue's facial expression and the Gorgon, Medusa, on its shell symbolizes its protection over the city. The Athena statue also held Nike, the god of victory, and one hand and a spear in the other, symbolizing that she was the winner with her absolute power and wisdom. Although the statue does not exist today, it's a symbol of the city of Athena's goal of achieving wisdom and perfection, and it is one of the most famous works. Lastly, the Greeks have created a lasting legacy through their works of art that influences how we perceive the past and the present.